it was a Christian fundamentalist. When the truth comes out, we'll start putting our pants on. It's literally. So they use it as a tool. Anyway.
So
how do we get off on this tangent?
Oh, I don't know. So check this out. Thursday on Fox News Channel, the Kelly File once again. She had National Review editor Rich Lowry, who is coming. National Review is a newspaper, a publication, like a magazine type newspaper. I'm having to explain this to you, Carrie, because I'll be honest with you. I know the name National Review.
Okay.
I've heard Rush say it a couple times here and there. I have never, ever picked one up.
Or even seen one?
I've never read one. I've never gone online to read anything from National Review.
Okay.
So National Review, Rich Lowry, comes out with this edition. And I don't know if it's the entire magazine, the entire edition. On the front cover, it says to destroy Trump. Oh, come on!
What, conservatives against Trump?
Right.
Was that the name of it? What are you looking for?
Come
on, Mr. Producer.
Okay. It's a image. There it is. There it is. It's this image. It's a purple cover, and it says National Review, and it says against Trump. All in gold letters, kind of like Trump does with his towers, the gold letter towers and stuff like that. And the entire edition is all about destroying Donald Trump.
Okay.
And so he was on with Megyn Kelly.
Are you endorsing Trump? Did we start the show off with that?
No. I started the show off saying we don't endorse Trump.
Right.
Okay. Only reason why I'm bringing this up is because this was hot fire news, and National Review was supposed to co-host a debate.
Oh.
Right.
And not anymore.
No.
What about
no, not at all. So
why did they think they were going to be able to get away with that?
So they say, here's the people that endorse and have sent letters to National Review endorsing their view of against Trump. First one, of course, Glenn Beck.
And we know Glenn Beck hates Trump.
This week came out and endorsed Ted Cruz, said he was looking for George Washington, and he has found him. Okay, moving right along. But I am dead serious. Glenn Beck said he's been looking for praying for George Washington to appear, and he found him.
Well, you know what the liberals are going to say. Oh, you mean that slave owner?
Right. Well, we know people who have said that to us.
Yeah. Oh, that they snap it right off. They're like, oh, the founding fathers? Oh, you mean the slave owners?
I've had this one locked in my barrel for years now from my high school teacher. Ready to fire at will. And now that you've mentioned the founding fathers, yes! I get to fire this one off. Slave owners!
Wow.
So, anyways, Bill Kristol, who I have said for
establishment guy.
Right.
Totally. In fact, if you have to listen...
We both said on this show many times.
When you listen to him speak, you have to listen for a significant portion of time before you figure out whether he's on the right or the left. You don't know if he's like a Democrat strategist and then finally it kind of comes out. But yeah, I'm not surprised.
A couple of the other names you might not know, but Andy McCarthy, obviously Thomas Sowell.
That's a huge disappointment that Thomas Sowell comes out against Trump.
Right.
Because I have a lot of respect for him.
This is all from National Review. I don't know. I don't have anything on Thomas, on what he has said or written. I have no idea. They might just be throwing that in, like Planned Parenthood. Threw McDonald's in there, said they donate to us. But then they had to take it down because they really don't.
Right, so I'd have to find out for sure. Right. I'd love to hear the reason why Thomas Sowell doesn't.
And I would love to sit down and talk with him about that. He's a rational, intelligent individual.
He's brilliant.
Yes!
He's a true free market capitalist.
Brent Bozell.
Don't know him.
Yeah, he's got that blondish, reddish hair, beardy thingy. I don't have much. And Dana Loesch. However, she's on the Blaze. She's part of Glenn Beck's
Oh, so that doesn't surprise you. So
right. No.
The question is okay, these guys are coming out against Trump.
And then this one, too, Katie Pavlich. She's the blonde that's on Fox News that they put up head-to-head against an insane left-wing Democrat. She holds her own. She does well. However, I could see her falling down GOP establishment territory. There's no question about that. So all this got National Review booted from...
Well, rightfully so.
From the debate. Now, I've got the bite, the sound bite of... Oh, here it is. Kelly talking with Rich. It's 3 minutes long, but I'm going to stop it in between when they say something so that we can kind of comment on where they're going with this. This is how... The only reason why I'm doing this, folks, is this is Kelly... It's her show, Megyn Kelly's show. This is her show. She's on Fox News, and she's going to be hosting the debate.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm just so tense with her.
Joining us now, the man who organized this effort to stop Donald Trump, National Review editor Rich Lowry. Rich, good to see you.
Hi, Megan.
So when Palin gave her that endorsement, many said Trump has won over the conservative base. That's an endorsement from the conservative base. And you and the others at National Review stand up tonight and say, not so.
Well, one big takeaway from what we're doing is not the establishment necessarily that's opposing Donald Trump.
Okay, stop number one.
All right, that is a blatant lie. Blatant lie.
We have stopped at the first of many stops.
You got to stop the presses on a lie that bold. Of course the establishment wants to get rid of Donald Trump.
They're literally paying people to do that. They're spending money to. They spent what did Trump say? They spent $50-60 million on Bush. They thought they could buy it with Bush.
They absolutely cannot stand that Trump is able to do this without accepting a single dime from anybody solicited. It's all unsolicited.
And they tried to come out with articles saying, oh, he's going to fail. He doesn't have enough money. He's running out. Like, that was a very, very short, fleeting article. I only saw one. I thought it was kind of silly. And it has been silly because nobody's talked about it since.
Because it can't possibly be true.
Nobody has ever said anything about him running out of money.
Maybe if nobody's donating anything to anything that he's using to help run his campaign, which is not true. He actually is taking donations. He's just not taking any donations from anybody that says, hey, if you do this for me,
right,
I'll give you this money. It's just completely grassroots.
From the people.
But that being said, we got to go way deeper into this before all of a sudden the rumblings start coming out where they're like, wow, Trump might be going broke here. We got to go way deeper.
Well, he's
not just now.
He has paid for his first TV commercial
for like $200,000.
Right, $2, and it went viral. The video, the commercial, literally, I put it up on Smith Radio.
He's got people making great commercials for him that he doesn't even ask them to do.
Free commercials.
It's amazing. We've been posting them on Facebook and whatever, and at least one guy's doing it, but they're very well done.
There's a couple of them out there now.
Really?
Yeah.
Couple. So he's got surrogates out there who are willing to volunteer their own time to put together what I would consider a very
compelling.
Well, it's talent.
Oh, yes.
These guys are talented.
Oh, no, it does look professional. Like somebody, it wasn't a birth certificate Photoshop job. It wasn't one of them. It is a real, full-blown studio job.
Oh, there's this show on called, it might be The Good Wife.
I've heard of it.
Okay,
I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
Well, I'm stuck watching it every night because, my wife wants to watch. But anyway, so this woman, the main character in the show, is married to a politician who's running for a pretty big office. I can't remember which was because he's always doing whatever. He's running for something or he's being put in jail for something. It's like, it's a complete Democrat, obviously.
Sure.
So some surrogate came out with a video that was going viral that was so bad it was completely cringeworthy.
Okay.
And so they were wondering if this guy was legit, just really untalented, or was he planted in order to make his constituents look crazy? And so they ended up meeting the guy, whatever. But I was thinking that when we were just talking about that, because this guy is actually talented.
Right.
But some talentless hack could come out and try to put together a really, really bad video that's pro-Trump to make Trump look bad.
Well, but I will tell you that I will have to say this though: in the day and age that we live in with social media, I don't think it would go viral like the other ones that we have seen. See, there might be millions of Trump videos out there now.
It has to be.
We just ain't even seen them.
But it has to be awesomely bad. It has to be something that's so ridiculous.
It has to be like that Asian guy bad that cut an album from American Idol.
William Hung.
Hung?
William Hung. I think that's his name.
That was Wong. Wong Hung?
No,
Hung Wong?
No, William Hung.
Okay, William.
He was so bad. He was
so awful, and he thought he really thought he had
really
something.
Did. He was tone deaf. He's tone deaf.
And it was literally a Will Ferrell moment where he owned his own joke.
You got to own it.
He owned it so much he cut a Christmas album.
It was like it went platinum. I think it did. He made a lot of money off of it, or at least somebody that made it did.
Geez. Okay, let's get back to Rich.
All right.
I have a bunch of lobbyists on K Street right now hiding under their desks, figuring out how they can deal with Trump or perhaps co-opt him. And the point we're making, it's up to conservatives who think that Donald Trump, whatever his virtues are, doesn't truly understand the ideas and principles that make this country great. It's up to those conservatives to stand up and say, no, sorry, we oppose this guy.
Well, let's stop you right there. When Chris Christie comes out and says we need to take over the world with a mighty military, I just don't think that really is necessary. We've ended up spread out all over the world because we had first of all, we had this Cold War thing going on. But so after World War II, we had interests that we fought and shed lots of blood for and won. We won World War II almost completely, hands down. Right. But so did Russia. Russia beat us to Berlin, and that's why they
had that half.
Well, that's why they were able to. They had a lot of leverage.
Right.
They were in there. They beat us to Berlin. We were trying to beat them to Berlin. We wanted to find Hitler, and they found Hitler. They beat us to Hitler. And even though Hitler killed himself, the Russians were there that forced him to commit suicide. But anyway, so there were two winners of World War II, and it wasn't Great Britain. It was United States and Russia. And from that point on, we had to jockey for position in the world to defeat communism.
Right.
Now, communism is at home.
It's here. It's already here.
We didn't have. We're not. What are we fighting around the world that requires us to have this giant presence all over the damn place? Sure, there's terrorism, but honestly, it's like these. It's just a band of misfits compared to the communists. We went from having communism quarantined on the east, for the most part, east of Berlin,
right,
and East Germany, and east of all that, and parts of the Middle East that were taken over by the USSR. We were fighting communism there. Now they have completely infiltrated our own damn government.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the real threat, because what is it that we really want in the world? We want freedom. We want individual freedom. We don't want to be oppressed by anybody, whether it's a big government and to the left's defense, we don't want to be oppressed by a business. That's why we fight against monopolies, because they do own you if they end up having a monopoly. So we fight against that, and the left doesn't get it. They think that the government needs to be as big as possible to fight against big government.
Well, they go back to the old notion that the people are there to serve the government. That's something they can't get out of their mind.
They can't.
The kings, the queen, the kings, the queens. The government knows best. Big nanny state. We know best. We know better than you. Let us control all of this, and you'll just live a happy peasant life. You won't die early. You won't die late. You just kind of and collect a check, and your families, and just go buy beer and drink it up with
you
your.
You can sit at home if you want, or you could pursue an art career that nobody will pay any money for your art. But that's okay. You can do that.
We'll set up a government program that will pay you for your art because we know it's good.
It doesn't matter if it's good. It's what you want to do.
Right.
And
so if you want to sit at home,
it's what makes you happy.
On your couch with a white tank top on,
and some watercolors,
drinking your beer, watching your football,
oh my
and
gosh.
not working.